celeriac, or celery root, turnip rooted celery, or just plain old ugly fruit. This winter veg goes by many monikers and has never been as favourable or in fashion as, say, the potato or the carrot, partly due to its somewhat unsightly appearance, but also due to its flavour profile, being a member of the same family of plants as parsley, carrots, parsnip and aniseed. It does have quite a distinct and some might say challenging flavour. However, since the time of the ancient Egyptians, it has been well known for its health benefits, including being particularly beneficial for the cardiovascular system. It's also quite low in calories when compared to its other starchy counterparts like potatoes and parsnips. Unlike potatoes and parsnips, however, it does have quite a, some might say, an off-putting appearance, which has also earned it the additional moniker of celery knob, which some might consider quite fair given the fact that it does look a little bit like you might imagine a troll's testicle. However, today we're going to be seeing if we can make the frog that is celeriac realise its full potential as the handsome prince we know it can be. You want to begin preparing this ugly fruit by removing its ugliest bits, that being the top and the tail. So just take those off with a sharp knife. And then you can move on to taking off the rest of that skin to reveal that beautiful ivory flesh below. And once that's done, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. And then the next stage is to chop this into roughly even pieces. You don't need to be scientifically precise about this, but make sure they're relatively even so they'll all cook at roughly the same speed. With that done, you just want to pop them into a colander and give them a rinse under cold water just to remove any of those loose pieces of skin that we've peeled off. And then we're going to smash 5 cloves of garlic. Into a medium-low pan, add about a tablespoon of butter and your garlic. Now you want to cook this garlic until it's brown, but don't go beyond that, otherwise it's ruined and you'll need to start this process again. About 30 seconds to a minute should do it. And then add your celeriac to the same pan and top that up with about 1 litre to 1.5 litres of chicken stock, or you can use vegetable stock, or whatever stock you fancy. Give it a bit of a stir so the garlic gets in amongst the stock and the celeriac, and then leave that on to boil for about 30 to 40 minutes. Celeriac takes quite a long time to cook, so I recommend testing it after 30 minutes with a sharp knife. Meanwhile, let's prepare some potatoes. I've got some marfonas here. You can use any floury potato, or indeed any potato that you would normally use for mashed potatoes. So a Maris Piper, a Yukon Gold, or a King Edward would do fine here. All you want to do here is make sure they're chopped into even pieces. You don't need to worry about peeling them. I'll explain that later. Just chop them into even pieces so they cook through evenly. And then, potatoes being a root veg, add them to a cold pan. Cover with enough cold water to completely submerge them. And then cook them for about 30 minutes. Again, using that knife test to check they're cooked through. And here is our celeriac off the heat, and I'm sure you'll agree she's already looking a lot more aesthetically pleasing than she was at the start of this cook. So with a colander over a jug, you want to pour off all of that cooking liquor, but make sure you reserve it. Add your cooked celeriac chunks back into that pan with about half a cup of that retained cooking liquor. You want to add in a couple of tablespoons of butter, a good pinch of salt, and some ground white pepper. And it should be white pepper for this dish because the brightness of the flavour in white pepper really complements that aniseed flavour of the celeriac. And in addition, we're trying to make a beautiful celeriac dish, and white pepper just looks better in the end result. Next up, you want to add 2 tablespoons of double cream. And then with a stick blender or whatever mashing utensil you have to hand, you want to blend this celeriac into a beautiful, moussey, cloudy, fluffy consistency. And look at that, a silky, smooth blend. That's exactly what we're looking for. So next up, we're going to rice our potatoes. So just grab your potato ricer. If you don't have a potato ricer, you can of course just mash these potatoes with a normal potato masher. You will end up with skin in the potatoes if you do it that way, but that's okay. That's just more flavour and a little bit more texture. It won't be quite as beautiful an end result as we're looking for, but it will still be a beautiful, delicious side dish. So I'm going to take my ricer here and just add some chunks of potato. And when I squeeze down on this, you're going to see that all the skins get left in the ricer, leaving us just with that beautiful potato flesh in the bottom of the pan. Now that is a win-win for us because we've been able to cook the potatoes in their skins, saving us the time of peeling them, but also imparting the flavour of those skins into the end product. And most of the flavour of potatoes is carried in the skins, so if you can do that, you want to. But then we've been able to remove those skins without anywhere near the hassle of having to peel them. So, as I said, that's a win-win. The other benefit of using a potato ricer is that you get a beautifully smooth mashed potato without the risk of overworking it, because overworking it can make it gluey, and we don't want that, we want it fluffy. So the ricer helps us achieve that consistency that we're looking for. And once you've riced all your potatoes, you want to add a couple of tablespoons of butter, a generous pinch of salt, and again, a good whack of white pepper, probably about 1/4 teaspoon here. And then in with 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme. Now, as you can probably see, at this stage, we've just made quite a nice mashed potato. You could quite easily just serve that as a side dish, no problem at all. But we're going to take this to the next level by combining it with that beautiful celeriac puree, making a real thing of beauty. And then you just want to combine those potato ingredients thoroughly, but without overworking. Next, in with our silky, smooth celeriac blend. Look at that. And then again, you just want to combine the celeriac with the potatoes until it's thoroughly combined but not overworked. And then just time for a quick taste test for seasoning. And it looks like we're all good. And there she is. Sweet, nutty, bold in flavour. This dish is the ugly duckling of raw ingredients that became the swan of side dishes. Well, we hope you enjoyed this transformative process. My name's Billy Buick, this is the Pit Wizard Smoke Shack. Thank you very much for watching, we really appreciate it. Please consider liking, subscribing and sharing the video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of our videos. And we'll see you next time.
Really? No.